I created a modality called Cinesomatics, where we use video, hence the cinema part, and somatics, the body movement. Through this, I basically help people see the unconscious stories, mythologies, archetypes, and even shadow material, our blocks, the things about ourselves that we've maybe abandoned and suppressed, ignored. And I help people see these things. And we do that through the video and the movement. Along with that, I'm the author of the book, Awaken to Your True Self, where I've shared advanced lessons that I learned on my journey of getting here in my life. I've struggled through homelessness twice. I was bullied and teased as a kid. I had warts on my fingers. I struggled a lot emotionally, socially, and financially in my life. And so this book was the culmination of what actually worked beyond all the other self-help strategies that I tried. And I put that in that book. I basically just help people through very advanced and deep transformations in their life. Everything really started when I was young. There was crazy attempted kidnappings and court orders and all sorts of fun stuff. My parents were very young. They had me when they were 17. So there's a lot of things that they weren't prepared for. They didn't know. And they did the best with what they could, and I'm very grateful. However, there was still many things in my childhood that created a lot of turmoil. One of these being I had warts on my fingers when I was really young. And starting school, kids teased me for that. There was an ostracization. It was a bit of this leper archetype. Oh, don't touch him. He's got those bumps on his fingers. That set in motion about the next 12 years of my life in school, struggling with bullying. I was trapped in this victim mentality, right? This poor me, why me mentality. I didn't know it then. Now I do. But I was trapped in that. And that really set me off on a decade of schooling that led me to a place to where I was very depressed. I had thoughts of suicide. I have thoughts of revenge when I was a teenager, violently. I was filled with a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, confusion, loneliness, frustration. I think out of all of those, mostly confusion. Why me? What is so wrong with me? Am I this unlovable, this undesirable? At the end of my school years, about 17 years old, I was at a crisis point internally that I either end this, because this is like, where is this going? Either I end this or I do whatever it takes to figure this out. How to have friends, how to not hate myself, how to like myself, how to be happy, how to get a girlfriend, right? Things like this. Obviously, I'm here today, so I made the choice to do whatever it took. And that set me on a journey of healing, of transformation. I started a software company at 18 years old because during that time of not having a lot of friends, I was into video games and computers. And so I learned to code and program and design, and that led me to my software company. So that set me on a whole second phase of my life of not only discovering who I was and growing and learning and healing and transforming emotionally, personally, but also learning about entrepreneurship and business, and then taking everything that I learned from my own healing all of that stuff that I talked about, and taking that and creating a second business, a second phase of my entrepreneurship career, sharing with the world how I overcame that stuff, how I actually went from depressed and suicidal and filled with anger, revenge, all of this stuff, and then having a software company with Fortune 100 clients, and then becoming homeless twice afterwards, after learning all of that stuff. What was the actual things that made the difference between all the things I initially did and then it still didn't work, and then the things that actually did?